Friends, thanks for joining with me today to discuss about supply strategies for multinational companies. I'm very happy to inform and very happy to have Mr. T.H. Iyer, popularly known as German Iyer, who has been working and finally approved by USA and bought at India. So these companies are there. Like this, there are many companies. Why we talk about MNCs now? A lot of companies are moving their manufacturing base from some other part of the globe to some other part of the globe due to different reasons. Okay. So now we need to make use of that benefit and then how to get the business from those companies. Okay. So many times when you go for a negotiation, what we think is our point of view is true and that is right. Okay. Similarly, the buyer also thinks his point of view is true and is right. But the truth is totally different. When you see a cylinder from circular area, you will get a picture of circle. From a rectangle area, you will get a picture of rectangle. So both point of views are right, but the reality is cylinder. Okay. The same thing happens in our people when we are talking about supplier buyer relationship, when we are especially talking to multinational organizations. Few important points which everyone must note it is global sourcing is a win-win situation. It is a win-win situation for both buyer and seller. Boundaries are shrinking and going away because no more state-wise, no more region-specific, no more country-specific, no more area-specific. Now it is becoming intercontinental. Throughout the globe, anyone can supply, anyone can buy anything. The world is becoming a global village now. Global sourcing and domestic sourcing are blending and converging into a one stream. That's the reason I used to tell to the people, don't have two different qualities. You should have the same quality whether you are supplying for a domestic market for the global market. So that what happens is some customer is happy with your domestic product, will try your product for the international also. But if you make for international, that's a different quality. For India, it's a different quality. There is a possibility you may not meet that customer itself. Global sourcing helps manufacturers to identify and buy from supply partners who meet their right quality, price, quantity, and delivery targets. So there is no need the people have to get themselves binded with the existing supplier because he is whatever quality, whatever price, whatever delivery targets he is meeting, you need not get yourself adjusted to that condition. If this person is not suitable to us, the person can move out of him and go and find out another partner. Similarly, for the seller also, if the buyer is not paying you on time, if the buyer is keep on changing the quantities and agreed terms are different and honored terms are different, he need not stick to the same buyer. He can choose a different buyer also. Remember, both buyer and seller need each other as much as both of them. Buyer needs a supplier, supplier needs a buyer. So you have to understand that. Don't think that it is a seller's market, don't think that it is a buyer's market. So first one is the buyer point of view. I have made it one thing is common, which is no lies to any of the suppliers. The buyer is a person who buys product from some other country. Please never ever lie anything to any of your supplier because your lies will get exhausted and your lies will be exhibited or it will get demonstrated within a short span of time. Your cost reduction. Why your buyer is interested in finding out alternate supplier is reducing the cost, whether it is a raw material cost or labor cost. That is his prime objective. Second objective is change in business environment. Business environment has changed, the requirement has changed, or the country specific reasons may be there. So that is the environment change. That is the reason the buyer is looking for alternate supplier. Buyer is not happy with the quality, not happy with the delivery, and they are not reliable suppliers currently what they have. So they want look out for a better quality, better delivery, lower price, and reliable suppliers. Buyer also looks out for a supplier who is ready to share the risk. So that's the reason they call the supplier as supply partners. Sometimes local area or local market requirement is more non-economical to bring the from different part of the world and supplying to the local market. So identifying a supplier at locally, it reduces a lot of their headaches. A lean manufacturing system. Lean manufacturing system, the sense is you get almost all the product made through contract manufacturing and just brand it and supply it. Like in India, we have a company called Oral-B, Oral-B toothbrushes. Almost 85% of the operations are not done by their Oral-B employees. It may, in fact, it may be more than that also. But 85% of the operations, making the toothbrush, putting the bristles in it, packing, everything is not done by them. Only marketing activity is done by those people. But it's a multinational organization with very less number of people. They are doing a very good turnover in India. Oral-B toothbrush I am talking about. From seller's point of view, that is the supplier's point of view, why they have to look out for multinational companies? Because they feel that the prices whatever current buyers are giving it is not correct price. They are getting more work and paying very less. So they want to get a better price realization for the work done. Change in business environment because the current buyers are not able to honor their commitments in taking the delivery or quantity or whatever it may be. They are thinking that by going for a international supplier, they will be in a position to get a better prices, more quantities, and regular deliveries. And those people will be regular and reliable big time buyers. So investments can be made and it's a long-term relationship they are looking for. And when you supply the product for the international market, naturally the volume goes up and you will be very happy to be a supplier to those global requirements. And when you are attaching yourself with multinational organization, you can learn many modern systems, quality control systems, or you can say that process assurance, process deviation, so many methodology they will be adopting. So you can learn all these things at their experience. See, this is China's biggest exports. It is the figure is published on 28th January 2020. If you see it, China exports to these countries. The more the darker, the more. The highest is US 481 billion. Okay? This is the quantity of things which they import, China imported. Okay. Again, if you see is the majority of the imports is forget about what you call Hong Kong. Here you can see it. Import is majority is from South Korea, Taiwan, Australia, US. Germany are the major imports. China is doing it. If you see the trade balance, okay, that means imports, exports. If you find the difference, still which are in green, okay, they are exporting. China is exporting. So why I showed you these three graphs is you can find out these countries, whichever is dark, whether it is pink or green, you have potential. Like here, China is importing from Taiwan. You can also import from Taiwan. China is importing from South Korea. You can also import from South Korea to supply back to some other country. The country may be somewhere here. US, Germany, or France, or UK, Netherlands, Russia, Singapore, whoever it may be. So, by looking at these pictures, you can find out what are the areas we can do export and things like that. Okay. Now, I will be happy to invite Mr. T.H. Iyer, who is a electrical engineer, graduated from Travancore University, and he went to Germany, and he had worked in Germany for over 40 years in Germany. He has total 65 years of professional experience, out of which 40 years in Germany and Zurich and London. He was a vice chairman of Power IT Chennai even now, and he is helping them to setting up a plant at Munich. He was the ex-chairman of Vitec Asia AG Switzerland. He was a director Iyer Inter Services, and he was the head of marketing of Friedrich Germany. Over to Mr. Iyer, please. You can unmute Mr. Iyer, please.
Very good evening.
Good evening, sir.
I am very happy to be with you all this evening. It's a wonderful evening of Indo-German thinking and Indo-German cooperation. As Dr. Kumar, my dear friend, explained, my experience with Germany is for more than 35 years with the leading company. And I went there soon after war, when Germany itself was not in a good shape industrially. But we were astonished that within a few years, they were able to rebuild the completely destroyed country. Now, at that time, Pandit Nehru was the Prime Minister of India, and the multi-billionaire Fried Krupp, largest industry of Germany, visited India and went back. Pandit Nehru wanted to know what Krupp thinks about India. And our Nambiar, who is also known to me very well, who was the ambassador, was asked to go and meet Krupp and get his report. And Krupp is a wonderful country, very hospitable people, very lovely nature and all that. But Nehru was interested to know what was not good, how things can be improved. He said, that I can say in one word, he said. He says, what India lacks is planning. So we can see from that moment onwards, the concept of planning took shape. In the early years itself, I bought some small-scale industries in India, whom I helped, particularly from Guindy, to export automobile components to Mercedes-Benz. But they were not, at that time, confident about the quality. So they put it in the vehicles and tested for 4 years, and the standing and the quality, then only placed the order on those companies. You can see how perfect the planning is. And the Germans always call the planning must be on a final denken. Final denken means you think from the beginning to the end, not just say I'm going to build that and start building without knowing the various processes you have to develop, the various methods you have to follow. So that is called final denken. That is one of the main reasons for Germany's great success. So now the main thing I would like to say about what I could do for India and what I could do for Germany in those 35 years. Dr. Kumar, the next slide, please. I mean, we have chosen to present to you an item called road construction, where the Friedrich Group, with their large experience, were able to build township roads, long distance roads, playgrounds, railways, and project sites by using geotextiles. Till then it was unknown. And the geotextile was a material out of polypropylene. And of course I sourced it for them from England, and it was made into rolls of textile. That's why it's called geotextile. Geo is earth and textile is the product that is used, looks like textile. And it has got very high qualities of strength and durability, and it lets water pass through from bottom to up and reverse. Therefore, the roads do not crack. So the life of the roads are very long. And if you calculate, initially the geotextile might be expensive, but over a period of time, it is going to be absolute quality. And particularly a country like India, which needs very good, reliable roads, because all our industrial development, even yet to come, are based on road development, which our country at the moment is concentrating, and also railways. So the geotextile has got a tremendous potential for multinational to take up and to organize and export and also use for our own country. In those years, I had helped companies like Kotak of Bombay, Mahindra of Bombay, Shakti Group of Coimbatore, TTK Group of Madras, DCM Group of Delhi and Kota in Rajasthan, and Eastern Engineering. Eastern Engineering, later on, I was a director of that company, and I got them the collaboration, which is a very coveted collaboration for manufacturing on-load tap changers, which was for the first time in India. And I had to convince the German company about the capability of Eastern Engineering. Now, this is about the road construction. Now, I think we have to give a lot of importance to this. Our multinationals, people who have the money to invest, should think of both ways, export as well as product development within the country. Next slide, please. And in Friedrich, which is also very, very well known for its steel plant division. They used to do steel plant modernization, planning stage they start, then they do design, engineering, etc. In fact, at that time, Friedrich was only manufacturing for their own requirements. I was instrumental in developing an engineering division for developing and installing these in other countries in collaboration basis. I had in those days very close association with Lurgi in Chaugle, who were doing pelletizing plants for the steel plants. The projects that were executed were in India, in East Germany, in Russia, in Hungary, in Poland. All these countries I visited personally. Then they were also supplying equipment for sugar plants, which were manufactured in India, but the product plants were supplied partially from Germany. Then the companies of Tata Group were collaborating and they are cooperating. The beauty was, much later it came to see that the quality of Indian goods was appreciated so much that we could manufacture about 60% of the products in India and 40% in Germany, thus make it an absolute turnkey arrangement, and it is accepted as the quality of made in Europe. So there is tremendous amount of potential for India, and the Germans are very friendly with Indians. They call it, Germany is a Indo-Germanische Kultur. That is, from ages we have the Indo-German connection, and therefore they would be very happy to collaborate with Indian companies. And I have also had companies like Tata Snelco for machinery from Germany, from Krupp and other granulation plants for coal upgrading, which is very essential in India. In fact, I'm in a mood to tell Modi about it, because our coal has a very high ash content. That is not good for steel plants. So the British developed a process by which that low ash content coal can be upgraded and made directly applicable to usable to steel plants. Then they have enormous amount of blue dust. When the iron ore is extracted, fine dust is collected in huge heaps and nobody knew what to do with it. Again, British developed a process by which the blue dust could be converted into pellets. So it's called pelletizers. So the new joint ventures can be on these lines. The German companies will always be willing to cooperate with us. Next slide, please. Now, I spent some years in Switzerland, and where I was, it's a very difficult country even to enter. Not only for Indians, even Americans have to find it difficult to enter. Such a great checkup, because it's a small country with a small population, and they do not want too many foreigners and too many unemployment in that country. And even when I was allowed to set up my company in Zurich, 22 people of the government of Switzerland interviewed me and said why I think I should be allowed. So you have to have something which they could use. And I had special the geotextile experience plus requirement of textile equipment from India. So I could help Lakshmi Group of Coimbatore, Tata Textiles of Bombay, Aruna Mills of Ahmedabad, from precision equipment supplied from Earlycon in Winterthur. And this was a very great thing in those days. Then I was the chairman of a company called VTech, which was developed for dehumidification plants, dry carpet cleaning equipment, and airless spraying equipment, which was for the first time for spraying plants in automobiles or other equipment which are manufactured. Usually a lot of paint gets in fume form, they create a lot of havoc. But these airless sprayers completely avoid that situation. Then I had a close connection with the McAster Group in Delhi and helped them in getting tools, etc. from Germany. Next, please. Then Great Britain. In the process of developing my company, I had an idea to go international. So the Iyer Inter-Service developed, set up offices in New York and London, in addition to the headquarters in Zurich. But the United States was at that time not very much liked by me because their method of marketing, their method of production were totally different to the European thinking. Therefore, I concentrated on Zurich and London. From London, being a world important center, we could do a lot of emphasis on projects abroad where the Germans or the Swiss do not get easy access. So we got access through, I had a close connection with Aditya Birla of the Birla Group. And through him, we could do collaboration in the field of palm oil. We could do diamond jewelry project in Sri Lanka. And I could also help the Aga Khan Group in Tanzania for two important projects, which they appreciate very much. It was in Dar es Salaam and also another place near the other country. So it was a wonderful thing to see how they were willing to, and it's very tough to develop something in Tanzania because the general population are all absolutely not prepared to work. They can spend the whole day drinking beer and not doing any work. So this had to be developed, and over a period of time, even Tanzania was able to produce a lot of equipment which were not only utilized in that country, they were also being exported. I feel this is the opportune time. Of course, Corona is, at the moment is a worrying factor, but India will shape. I even wrote a book far back, and that has come true. I had said from the year 2000, India will be a superpower. The title of the book was India, Economic Power of the Future. And this book was very popular in Germany, Switzerland, and Austria. So the Indians have got a tremendous potential in setting up companies in Germany and exporting products and investing in Germany. And I would say the Germans are welcoming Indians, whether it be major companies or minor companies. Investment is not, the quantum is not important, but the engineering know-how and the engineering experience that go with it. So these are very important things, and the projects executed in various parts of the country have given me the total satisfaction that in times to come, India will play a very important role in all these countries. And I am especially worried about or thinking about Germany because it is a second home for India, for me. But at the same time, Germans offered me citizenship, which I refused because I work for India and for Indian companies. The patriotic feeling made me say, thank you very much for your citizenship. I'll be an Indian. The same was offered in Switzerland, which I turned down. In London, it was, of course, a different nature because being Commonwealth, it was a special appreciation in those days for Indians. I think these are the valid points which I want to convey to you as a potential for the MNCs of India to shine in Germany and other parts of Europe. Thank you.
Thank you very much, so. Um, we will have our questions with Mr. Iyer also after me completing the things. Okay. The first and foremost thing is, if you are looking for when you are projecting about your company to any multinational organization, especially people from outside India, first and foremost request I make to all the people, however small you are, however big you are, you be frank and clear in what you are communicating. Many times, what we try to boost up our image, thinking that if we project more, they will believe us. So we give some wrong data. So that wrong data, they will find out in no time. But what happens? You lose their confidence on you. So first and golden rule for you is to be a supplier to any international company. Don't lie even a small bit also. I would like to give a small example which happened in my 35 years experience with the German company. I was associated with the German company. We were doing a technical collaboration. Later, it became a joint venture, and we used to produce machines with the technology from Germany and make it in India and supply it to the Indian market as well as the international market. We had technology up to 650 tons. Above that, we don't have the technology, because if you want to take a higher technology, we have to pay a very huge amount. And we found out the price what we are going to pay for a higher tonnage machines is not justified, because the number of machines requirement is less. So we didn't go beyond 650 tons. But during my period, I got an interesting inquiry for a 1,000-ton injection molding machine. 1,000-ton injection molding machine came. Like general sales engineer, I didn't lose that opportunity. I came and discussed with my chief executive, and I requested him to check the possibility of getting the drawing and other technical support from Germany, and critical component, like Mr. Iyer said, we'll get the critical components from Germany, and balance manufacturing you can do it. So we can be cost effective and also supply to the Indian company who is looking for a 1,000-ton machine. Immediately, all the people, finance, especially finance people, told the cost of technology is very high, which we cannot recover it in this. Okay. When generally what the people will do is, they think that if you approach the top man of the German company, then immediately you have to pay for the technology cost, and you may end up paying huge amount of money, and which will not be justified for selling a single machine. But I kept on persisting, insisting my chief executive to talk, who finally in turn spoke to German counterpart. Unexpectedly, he has agreed to transfer the technology without taking even 1 rupee. He was saying that whether it is your company or our company, we are getting business. So customer is important. I will right away help you people to get business. But later, when the number of machines are going to be more, you can pay back the royalty over a number of machines. It was a win-win situation for all of us, and we could supply a 1,000-ton machine completely made in India. Of course, we got all the imported component from Germany. As Mr. Iyer correctly vetted, it was the same German class machine built in India, because we simply followed whatever the instruction they have given to us. So when we are saying it, your capabilities of your company, you think that, okay, by increasing our capabilities, we can win the minds of the multinationals. Mainly 3 components they look out. What is your domain knowledge? What is your professional skill? What is your technical skill? Okay. When you are looking at all this knowledge, you may have domain knowledge, you may have technical skill, but you may not have the professional skill. Professional skill in the sense is testing the equipment and all. Exactly, it happened in India for our machine, what I was telling. So we told that we don't have experience in testing the high-end, higher tonnage machine, and they flew their engineer to test it and supply it. Okay, no extra cost to the collaborator. So what happens is, by giving correct pictures and exchanging information clearly, we can become a partner with our collaborator, and we can become a partner with our buyer also, who in turn helps us to grow. And later we supplied many more machines like that. So what happens is we could do it not with one single company, another German company also, similarly the dehumidification systems. World's biggest dehumidifier in India, we have supplied along with the collaboration in similar terms. Just because we got the successfulness earlier, we referred the same thing to the another German company, and the company also supplied the main equipment and the drying bin, other things we made it in India itself. So we could, that was supplied to Bayer Pondicherry. So both the things, I didn't limit myself as that is the capability, because my capability was assuming that 300 cubic meter of dryer generator. We went and took order for 1800 cubic meter of dryer generator, because we got the 1800 cubic dryer generator from Germany, and the bin we made it in India. Similarly, machine, our capability, what we thought that we know that we can build only up to 650, whereas we took the order for 1000 ton. We got the main components and took the support of the professional support from the collaborator and built it. So when you are specifying your capabilities, please specify clearly what are the areas you have good knowledge and what are your areas of improvement, so that the customers or the supply partners will appreciate your genuineness. In coming to quality management systems, the one and the only thing all the European and all the multinational corporations across the world will look out for highest quality they expect. Okay. So that's the reason again and again I'm saying to you, do not deviate the quality, and your quality system should be perfect, and you have to adhere to the quality system, however it may be. Okay. So the first is, the moment you start focusing on your quality, you will be customer focused person. Why you are customer focused person? Because you have to put yourself in customer's shoes. If I supply a bad quality, it is going to affect my customer, which in turn affect me. So I don't want to supply a bad quality. Okay. So this is the first and foremost principle. Do not deviate. That's the reason I'm saying adherence. The second thing is, the leadership should not ask the people to change their quality standards. Leader should be very strong and should be saying that whatever it may be, I am ready to face. I am not going to accept the inferior product to go into our products. So the leadership should also have committed to the management quality principles. Process approach. The process is well defined for making it for a particular product in a proper way. That was discussed and designed along with the buyer. So you cannot deviate it without having, without taking an approval or without doing a research on it. By doing this, you are creating a havoc in the system. Okay, there is a possibility the damage can happen maybe after a few years. So, but your process approach, you may think that you are better, but that's your thinking. That's the reason we say it in Germany and Europe and all the multinational organization. They don't believe our what you call intuitions. They think on data. They work on data. They work on the field results. So process deviation should be never made. And any improvement must be recorded and should be validated with the data. The improvement, if you say that I could able to increase the productivity because of this improvement, you have to prove it. Prove it with the data and the numbers. Not now or not once or twice. It is over a period and consistent. Then only you will have the acceptance from the management. Evidence based decision making. It is no more intuition based decision making or emotion based decision making. It is evidence based decision making will be the main priority in quality management principle. Engagement of people. The people, you are giving a responsibility to somebody, and you should not allow him to change his responsibility, or you should not interfere into his business. You should give him and you should give them full freedom and to take decision, and you stand behind the decisions. So I'm focusing only with respect to quality, I'm saying. And relationship management, okay, with the customers. That's why I told customer focus, automatically relationship management will come. So the more you focus on your customer's relationship, so you understand the customer's problem, so you proactively think and discuss and decide all the necessary steps to be taken before giving a product out of your manufacturing. So many mistakes our people are doing it for supply strategy is want to be a supplier. Let us assume that we want to be a supplier to a multinational organization. First, they go and give their price. That is the highest stupidity. You should never agree for a price at the first stage. First, what I would recommend is you find out what is their quality requirement. This is the first one you have to note it down. Ask them, ask them in a pre-printed format of yours. Sir, tell me your quality requirement. The moment when they write it down and you record it, this is the minimum, this is the maximum quality required. Without this, we are not going to consider it. So you fix that point. Then ask them to commit the quantity. Sometimes they commit to you 500 pieces. Sometimes they commit to you 50,000 pieces. You cannot agree for a price of 50,000 and supply a product prices of for 500. So you have to have a similarly minimum and maximum quantity should be there. And for that, you should have a clear understanding of it. Coming to warranty, be specific. What do you mean warranty? Because globally, what they mean warranty is complete replacement. Whereas in India, it is not complete replacement, only parts replacement. So you have to tell very clearly what are the things you mean as warranty in your terms and condition and explain to those people. Okay. Then coming to the payment terms. Payment terms, whatever your payment terms and whatever their payment terms, you can discuss and decide which is convenient to both of you. Okay. And finally come to the other benefits. What are the benefits you are going to get? It may be because of the brand image, by being a supplier to a German company, by being a supplier to a French company, you can supply across the globe. Like that, if you think that, that also benefits you have to consider. And finally, you commit a delivery. But again, I warn you, commit something which is possible. Okay? Don't overcommit and underperform. You do ulta. That is, you undercommit and outperform. If you commit for 4 months, you should have delivered it in 3 months and 50 days or 45 days. Exactly. No variation beyond that. Okay. Exactly 3 months over and 29th day or 28th day, you should have supplied the machine to the person. And finalize the price at the last. Do not agree for a price at the beginning, even though all the buyers will be saying that, tell me your price, tell me your price. You simply keep on asking, what is your quantity? What is your quality requirement? What is your delivery requirement? What is your payment terms? You fix it out. Assuming that the green line is what buyer wants and the yellow line is what seller wants. So what everyone will try to the push to the maximum, highest price, longest delivery, excellent payment terms, no warranty at all, and very good quantity and quality, best possible quality, and all benefits you will try to get it. Similarly, the other person is you like to go to the center, lowest price, fastest delivery, like that you will work on it. So everyone will try to work on increasing the area under the car. Okay. So you have to settle down which is suitable for you and then convince that person and to become a partner with you. And more important is commitment to the commitments. Whatever commitment you are giving it, you have to have a commitment to stick on to that commitment. Many times people give a commitment through their hat. So this really annoy the people. Okay. You say it, it will happen, it should happen on that day. Okay. Maybe one day earlier also, but never go beyond that. Okay. For that, what you need, including sending a test report, including sending a photograph, including sending a mail reply. You don't want to reply to him in 2 days. Don't tell him that I'll reply in a day or two. Reply to him. Tell him we will send a reply within a week. And you send it in 2 days. It's not a problem. But don't say that we'll send a reply by tomorrow and send it day after tomorrow. So this and all, this is the way the people judge your company. Quality adherence commitments, because this is very, very, very important, which many of us deviating. That is the reason they lose the reliability on us. Manufacturing commitments, processing deviation, production deviation, all these things you are doing it. Process adherence commitments. Okay, we don't want to change. If I'm saying that I'm going to do the heat treatment, and then only you do the machining. and you have to be specific and have a proof for that. Delivery and supply commitments. Service support commitments, very, very important. They will ask you how fast you can supply it. Okay, I will tell you one example on this. So some of the leading automobile company bought a big machine from us. Okay, they want us to give a commitment. In case of line stoppage, we have to pay the money. Line stoppage means in automobile industry, if the line is stopped, the manufacturing line is stopped. Okay, assuming it's a car company is producing 60, 70 cars per minute. If the car company line is stopped for 3 hours for want of not supplying product from my machine, which in turn makes them to stop the line, and I have to pay the charges. That is called line stoppage charges. We simply say that not possible. Machine means machine will have problem, and we cannot afford to pay you because the money what they are demanding was huge. It is almost equivalent to a turnover of our company. But many times what will happen? Nothing will happen. This is a general terms and condition. You sign it like this. Never ever sign like this. You will be doomed. Okay. So we refused, and we were very clear, and we explained to him, machine will have a problem, but we will solve it at the shortest possible time. But we cannot guarantee you, or we cannot give you a service support commitment that from machine will never have a problem. And if any problem will be there, I will take care of that penalty. Never ever make mistakes like this. Finally, we got the order because they told that, yes, machine will have a problem, but you will solve the problem. Then I equipped myself with the spare parts and training their engineer, our engineer, and storing some of the spare parts at their cost in their place. Like that, we managed it. The machine is working even now after crossing 20 years also. So remember, most important, many times when we talk to the Europeans, they will test us. When you are doing a different thinking, so many questions, so many data, so many proof they will be asking you. It is to find out how serious you are and to find out how you are really interested in the business. So don't have an ego, lose the battle, win the war. That is very important. Okay. So that's the reason I say that you have to create a win-win situation for both as a buyer, as a seller. For us, mostly we are going to be the supplier for the international companies. So you have to be a win-win situation, and you should know how to create a win-win situation for getting every meeting favorable to you as well as to him. Because if you make it in that, if you win and you make your buyer to lose, next time he is not going to buy from you. And if the buyer wins and you lose, next time you are not going to be a supplier to him. And if both are losing and ending up a business, and you are not interested in doing that business, and he is not interested in buying from you, because he also lost, you also lost, that you are not going to. So the only option left to you is you also win, make buyer also win, and explain to him clearly what is the reason, how your costings, all the whatever shareable information you can share it to him. And you can be very specific, because why they are coming to India, I told you very, very clear. They need you as much as you need them. Remember that. And don't think that just because their brand name, their name, or the big company they belong, and they can dictate terms. No. By dictating terms, they are not going to gain, and you are going to be the loser. Okay. With this, I conclude our discussions, and now open the session for question and answers. Whoever want to ask questions can raise a hand. And yeah, one Mr. Dana Pradhan, you can tell whom you are asking the question, and either it is addressed to Mr. Iyer or to me, and then ask the question.
Okay. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Both of you did really a wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
Okay. And I think you touched most of the points. Of course, now my question is not related to your subject. See, it is for both of you to answer. I would like to know both opinion.
Yes,
Of late, I am seeing a lot of failures on the Indian scenario for big groups to small groups. Okay, due to different reasons. The reasons can be different. I feel the business atmosphere itself is not conducive. The correct word is conducive. Or I would like to know both of your opinion. It's a general question, of course.
Thank you.
Both Dr. Iyer and yourself, I want to know separate opinion.
Yes.
Please.
Mr. Iyer, you would like to answer first or I can answer first? Host, you can.
You answer first.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you are 100% right, Mr. Pradhan. Because what happens is all the big companies or the small companies, now they are shifting more into profit focused organization. Profit focused organization, what happens it no, that's why the great culture has gone. Like if you see the Germans, especially since I worked with a lot of Germans for a long time, or after getting that order, today if you see any of the big company to small company, what is the profitability of each order, they know it, because they know what is the cost and what is the manufacturing cost, what is our overheads, all these things. If the profit is less, okay, they compromise in on the process, they compromise on the spare part, they compromise on the component goes into the product. Whereas if you look at any of the international company, the manufacturing will not even know what price this machine is sold. Manufacturing will know only about the quality requirements, and there is no deviation. Whether you made an order at a loss, whether you got an order with a profit, that and all manufacturing people will never concern. They will say that our quality will be common and it is uniform throughout the products. Whether it is so, the moment we became profit focused, we try to make profit in every order, which in turn makes the people make a lot of mistakes, which in turn affects the quality of the product. Okay, that's the reason we have a lot of failures. But the moment if you look out, no, quality focused, that's the reason I was saying it. If the moment you put yourself in customer focus, automatically quality focus will come into the picture. The moment you are quality focused, you don't compromise. When you are not compromising, many times I am telling it, I have told with out of my experience. I have taken a deviation when I was supplying to Ford. Ford, Ford India, when they put the first plant in India, and my machine was the first machine to get into their plant. While executing the order, I considered so many things, but I had very carefully put all the terms and conditions in my offer. While executing the order, we found out that person is not able to supply. So I went back to the managing director of Ford, that was controlled by Ford UK. Then I explained to him, sir, I was thinking that Horst Herzog, if I remember, is a German settled in UK. I told him, sir, this is expectations from me, and this is what's considered that I put it in the offer also. But now that person is not supplying, I am going to buy it from somebody else, which is costing me more. I cannot demand that you have to increase the price, but I can request you to consider my request for increasing the price. Within a fraction of minute, he saw it and he got convinced and he improved the price and I amended the order across the table. So that's the reason that it shows the genuineness of your handling with your customers. This is my point of view. Over to Mr. Iyer, sir.
Dr. Kumar has handled it very well. I would rather say the quality which he dealt with is the most important thing. Now, a country like Germany, they have very limited manpower. Therefore, they are depending on equipment, machinery, which can be controlled better than human beings. Here, the unfortunate part is where it is politically motivated. Otherwise, we have always, because of the extra population, we try to please everybody and we overemploy. For a work to be done by 4 people, we might sometimes have 40 people. Then obviously, the quality cannot be right. So we have to be extremely careful in that. And in Germany, they have the testing is so important. Over the testing, there is a department which tests the testing department. Therefore, we have to ensure that the quality is maintained. Now, in India, when I was with a very large British company, we were supplying equipment to a Birla company called Keswaram in Andhra Pradesh at that time. Our price was really very high, but the quality was good. And the gentleman was a Marwari, who was the chief of purchase. He came and called me. I went all the way to Andhra to see him. He said, sir, for your price, another company is quoting, they can give 5 units for your price. Your price is so high. I said, you better buy those 5 units. But if you come back to me, the price will be higher. Ultimately, that is what happened. Therefore, quality and the dependency on quality, and also not overemployment, but keep the people. In fact, I used to say, if required, I used to even write to the government of India, a lot of people can be, there could be totally machine controlled factories, and then other factories which are controlled by human beings, like textiles and all that. Both put together should be decide the country's ability, and we should think about how to run the plant with efficient and just adequate labor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other question? People can raise their hand and we can unmute that person. Yes, Mr. Ilangovan, please. You can unmute Mr. Ilangovan.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Mr. Ilangovan.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks, Mr. Iyer. It's fantastic to know your experience and background. I'm sure now you are well aware of the complete industrial map of India since independence. Okay, how things developed, and maybe major part of the industrialization in Europe also you are involved the way you explained. Okay. Few questions on this. Thanks for sharing your reservoir of knowledge. I hope industrialists in India use your a great asset. Now, as you know, recently IT become dominant for India, for export market, and we are doing fairly well. Though there is no local Indian developed ICT companies this thing, but we are servicing the world. Earlier it was more on heavy industry and engineering excellency type of thing. For India now, the approach has to be on IT or the heavy engineering type, and how it is going to be done. What is the gap today? It looks like there are multi agencies doing this in India, export promotion and the CAA type of organizations, and individual maybe big companies can do on their own. But what is the real approach for India? You think it would help to sort of expedite and get MNCs to seriously look into India? Thank you.
Thank you. This was Mr. Iyer.
Yeah, I'll answer this.
Yes, sir.
The most important thing is we have to ensure the right approach to quality and the production. Now you're talking about the IT industry. At my age, I've been appointed as vice chairman of a IT company who is setting up an organization in Germany. They are associating with Larsen & Toubro, and they have got plans, big plans. And the Germans are aware that the Indian engineers, wherever you go, they are the most superior intelligence. We should be proud of our own abilities, and therefore, even in Germany, they found it is highly essential to have more Indian students in their engineering colleges. They allowed English to be their medium of education. So the Germans realized that. Now we have to develop this IT collaboration by similarly like what our IT is planning, which has got a tremendous future. As far as machinery is concerned, we still have, because their labor is so expensive. We can, if you have, do not do overemployment. We plan it properly with the right kind of divisions and control and testing and adhering to quality and time of production. The time of production and the promised date of delivery will really create the reputation. I've seen that the Germans did a big project for Tatas. They completed it on the date they promised. Similarly, the chairman of Tatas at that time, Ruchi Modi of Tata Steel, he also, when he has a new plant, he set the date for the commissioning of the plant, and it happens on that date. These are the things that we have to bear in mind: the spirit of excellence and the spirit of having concentrated thinking about how to go about it. Thank you.
Very well explained, sir. And I will add up a few more points. Yes, Mr. Animal, whatever Mr. Irangovan you said is 100% right. It's an excellent question. So first, thanks for asking this question to us. So the thing is, what happens is throughout the globe, like Mr. Iyer was telling it, and all of us knows, the manufacturing cost or the cost of labor is very high in all the countries, including China. Okay, including China, the cost of labor is very high. So the automation is going to be the need of the day. So the automation, whether you like it or not, it is going to happen. So if you look at our capabilities, we are extremely good in IT industry. You take any big organization in India who are very well into the IT industry. As Mr. Iyer said, we have very expertise knowledge in IT industry. But using that knowledge for core engineering is very limited in India. I'm repeating what I said. Using the IT knowledge in core engineering is very limited in India, not in the world. So only in India, we are applying it very limited. Whereas across the globe, application of this ICT, information communication technology, into manufacturing sector is very high. Since we have the expertise of IT, and we also have the cost of labor is comparatively cheaper than the international market, we can combine. By doing this, what we can do is we can export a lot of big systems, total systems. Total systems means communication from machine to the product to the machine, integrated by means of sensors. Okay. Now I have many of my friends. Okay, their R&D center is based at India. Okay, they are doing development, design work on engineering based, software based, everything over here, and making the product, and then final product is sent over there also. So it's a huge potential, because we fortunately, if you look at Chinese, they have very good manufacturing capability, but with respect to application of IT, their knowledge is little lower than us. So we have both very good advantage, but it's application of that into the product and supplying it as a total system to any company across the world, we will be a very good player in the world. This is my opinion.
May I add one sentence?
Yes, sir.
The most leading company of Germany, Siemens India, they have set up their research company in Bangalore. The entire knowledge is going from here. So they all know that the Indians are going to be the superpower of tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Hope, Mr. Elangovan, we have answered you.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks. It's a fantastic combination, with his experience and your passion and energy. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Elangovan.
We appreciate it.
Hello, Raj, please.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, the buyer point of view, இப்போ
இந்த
நாங்க
question
டொமஸ்டிக் ஆர்வம் பண்ணிக்கிட்டு இருக்கோம் சார்.
இந்த கொஸ்டின் யாருக்குங்க?
உங்களுக்கு தான் சார், குமார் சார், உங்களுக்கு தான் சார்.
ஓகே, சொல்லுங்க.
இந்த சேஞ்சஸ் இன் பிசினஸ் என்விரான்மெண்ட் சார். முன்னெல்லாம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா நாங்க ஒரு கஸ்டமர், நாங்க காஞ்சிபுரத்துல இருந்து ஆப்ரேட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 100 கிலோமீட்டர்ஸ் ரேடியஸ் நாங்க கவர் பண்ணிடுவோம். பட் இன்னைக்கு பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட் விட்டு டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட் போறதே ஒரு பெரிய சேலஞ்சிங்கா இருக்கு. அதே மாதிரி ஒரு வீட்லயும் இந்த கோவிட் சிச்சுவேஷன்ல எல்லாருமே ஒரு பயத்தோட இருக்காங்க. எங்களாலே ஒரு ஃப்ரீயா போக முடியல. இந்த நேரத்துல இதை எப்படி சார் நாங்க ஹேண்டில் பண்றது?
நீங்க என்ன பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கீங்க சார்?
வாட்டர் பியூரிஃபையர் சார்.
வாட்டர் பியூரிஃபையர், வெரி குட்.
சேல்ஸ் அண்ட் சர்வீஸ்.
ஓகே சார். இப்ப கோவிடுங்கிறது ஒரு டெம்பரரி பினாமினா சார். அதனால நீங்க அதை பத்தி பயப்பட வேண்டாம். கோவிடை விட பயங்கரமான நோய் என்ன அப்படின்னாக்க, நம்மளுக்கு கோவிட் வந்துருமோன்னு பயப்படுறதுதான் அதோட பயங்கரமான நோய். ஸோ கோவிட் வருமோ அப்படிங்கிறத நம்ம நான் நிறைய என்னோட ப்ரோக்ராம்ல அடிக்கடி சொல்லுவேன். நம்ம என்ன கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ண முடியுமோ அதை பத்தி நம்ம மட்டும் யோசிச்சா போதும். நம்ம எது கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ண முடியாதோ அதை நம்ம யோசிக்க வேண்டியதில்லை. அதை பத்தி வருத்தப்படுறதும் தேவையில்லை. ஏன்னா இப்ப பாத்தீங்கன்னாக்க நம்மளுக்கு எப்படி நடக்குது, ஏன்னா ஏதாவது ஒரு மெத்தட் இப்படிதான் நடக்குது அப்படின்னு சொன்னா அந்த பழக்கத்தை, இப்ப சிகரெட் ஸ்மோக்கிங்னால கேன்சர் அதிகமா வருது அப்படின்னு சொல்றப்ப சிகரெட் ஸ்மோக்கிங் நிறைய பேர் விடலாம். பட் நீங்க வெளியில ரோட்ல நடந்து போனாலே ஏர் இஸ் பொல்யூட்டட் அண்ட் யூ வில் கெட் கேன்சர் அப்படின்னாக்க யூ கேனாட் வாக்னு இருக்க முடியாது. ஸோ நம்ம என்ன பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னாக்க, ஒன்லி திங் இஸ் இம்யூனிட்டி லெவல் இன்க்ரீஸ் பண்ணிக்கணும். இப்ப நீங்க த்ரூ அவுட் த வேர்ல்டு நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா கூட நீங்க ஒரு அனாலிசிஸ் பண்ணி பாத்தீங்கன்னா தெரியும். உங்களுக்கு வந்து அமெரிக்காவை எடுத்துட்டீங்கன்னாக்க 11.4% வந்து டெத் ரேட். அதாவது 100 பேர் அஃபெக்ட் ஆனாங்கன்னாக்க அதுல 11.4 பசங்க இறந்துடுறாங்க. வேற இந்தியாவில் எடுத்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னாக்க ஓவராலா சொல்றது இட் இஸ் ஒன்லி 0.78. அதாவது 100 பேர் அஃபெக்ட் ஆனாக்க 0.7% மட்டும்தான் டெத் பாசிபிலிட்டிஸ் இருக்கு. இதுக்கு மெயின் ரீசன் என்ன அப்படின்னாக்க நம்மளோட இம்யூன் சிஸ்டம். அங்க அமெரிக்கால இருந்து வரவங்களுக்கு உங்க ரிலேட்டிவ்ஸ் யார் இருந்தாலும் கேட்டு பார்க்கலாம். அமெரிக்கால இருந்து வரவங்களுக்கு வந்து கொசு கடிச்சாலே வீங்கி போயிடும், ரெட் கலரா உடம்பு முழுக்க ரேஷஸ் வர ஆரம்பிச்சிடும். இப்ப நம்ம ஊர்ல எல்லாம் கொசு கடி இல்லாம தூங்குறது தான் கஷ்டம். கொசுவே கடிக்கலையப்பா, ஜன்னலை திறந்து வைங்க, கொசு கடிக்கட்டும் அப்படின்னு நினைப்போம் நம்ம. ஏன்னா அப்படி நம்ம பழகி இருக்கோம். ஸோ நம்மளுக்கு இம்யூன் சிஸ்டம் ஜென்ரலாவே அமெரிக்கன்ஸை விடையோ யூரோப்பியன்ஸை விடவோ அதிகமாவே இருக்கும். ரெண்டாவது அங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னாக்க அவங்க சாப்பிட்ற உணவு வகைகளும் நம்ம இந்தியர்களோட உணவு வகைகள் மாதிரி கிடையாது. நிறைய உணவுகள் வந்து தேவையான உணவுகள் கிடையாது. நம்ம ஒண்ணுமே கிடையாது. இப்ப வாட்டர் பியூரிஃபிகேஷனே இருக்கு இல்லைங்களா? இப்ப வாட்டர் பியூரிஃபிகேஷனே அந்த காலத்துல இல்லாம நம்ம பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தோம் நேச்சுரல் பியூரிஃபிகேஷன்ல. இப்ப வாட்டர் பியூரிஃபிகேஷன், ரிவர்ஸ் ஆஸ்மாசிஸ், இல்லைனாக்க யூவி ஃபில்ட்ரேஷன், இதெல்லாம் இப்ப கவர்மெண்ட் பேன் பண்ணணும்னு திங்க் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க. ஸோ வி ஹாவ் டு மூவ் டு த நேச்சுரல் ஓரியன்டட் ப்ராசஸ் பை விச் இந்த ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ் கேன் பி சார்ட்டட் அவுட். இப்ப நீங்க கேட்ட கொஸ்டின் பாத்தீங்கன்னாக்க த்ரூ அவுட் இப்ப காஞ்சிபுரத்துல இருந்து ஆப்ரேட் பண்ணோம், 100 கிலோமீட்டர் தான் சுத்திட்டு இருந்தேன். யூ கேன் ஹாவ் பார்ட்னர்ஸ் பிகாஸ் இப்ப வந்து இப்ப ஜெர்மனி எடுத்துட்டீங்கன்னாக்க ஹவு தே பார்ட்னர் வித் சென்னை பேஸ்ட் கம்பெனி லைக் மைண்டட் பர்சனோட அலைன் பண்ணிக்கிட்டு ப்ராஃபிட் ஷேர் பண்ண போறோம். ப்ராஃபிட் ஷேர் பண்றப்ப என்ன ஆகுதுனாக்க ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்றேன். நீங்க காஞ்சிபுரத்துல ஒரு நல்ல கம்பெனி வச்சிருக்கீங்க, உங்களை பத்தி எல்லாருக்குமே தெரிஞ்சிருக்கு. சப்போஸ் ஈரோடுல உங்க ரெக்யர்மெண்ட் இருக்கு, நீங்க காஞ்சிபுரத்திலேயே அந்த கஸ்டமர் சர்வீஸ் பண்ணாக்க வாட் இஸ் யுவர் காஸ்ட்? இட் இஸ் கோயிங் டு பி வெரி ஹை. அதுக்கு ஈரோடுல ஒரு ஃப்ரெண்டை பார்த்து அவரை நீங்க வந்து நீங்க அதை நீங்க ப்ரொமோட் பண்ணுங்க, வர்ற ப்ராஃபிட்ல நீங்க பாதி எடுத்துங்க, நான் பாதி எடுத்துக்கிறோம்னு சொன்னேன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. ஈரோடுல இருந்து நீங்க போகலனாக்க ஈரோடுக்கு பிசினஸே வரப்போறது கிடையாது. நீங்க போறதுனால ஈரோடுல இருந்து பிசினஸ் வரப்போகுது, அடிஷனல் பணம். அந்த அடிஷனல் வர்றதுல வந்து யூ ஆர் கோயிங் டு கிவ் 50% பிகாஸ் ஹி இஸ் டூயிங் த ஒர்க் ஃபார் தட். ஸோ நிறைய பேர் என்ன நினைச்சுப்போம் அப்படின்னாக்க, ஐயோ அந்த பணத்துல நம்ம 50% அவருக்கு கொடுக்கணுமே அப்படின்னு நினைக்கிறோம். அதுதான் தப்பு. அந்த அலைடு பார்ட்னர்ஷிப்ங்கிறப்ப பாக்குறப்ப என்ன பண்றோம் அப்படின்னாக்க எக்ஸ்பான்ஷன் தட் இஸ் த ஸ்மூத்தஸ்ட் அண்ட் சிம்பிளஸ்ட் எக்ஸ்பான்ஷன். எல்லாத்தையும் நானே பண்ணும் அப்படின்னு நினைச்சிட்டு இருந்தோம்னாக்க, ஐ ஹவ் டோல்ட் எக்ஸாம்பிள், ஓரல் பி இந்தியாவில் ஹையஸ்ட் செல்லிங் டூத் பிரஷ்ன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னாக்க அது ஒன் ஆர் டூ ரேங்க்ல இருக்கும். ஓரல் பி வந்து 88 or 89% இஸ் நாட் ப்ரொடியூஸ்டு பை ஓரல் பி. மெனி சப்ளை பார்ட்னர்ஸ் ஆர் டூயிங். அதனால நம்மளோட திங்கிங்கை மாத்திக்கிட்டு நம்மளோட ப்ராஃபிட்டபிலிட்டி இஸ் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். ஷேரிங் த டெக்னாலஜி இது ஒரு பெரிய கஷ்டமான காரியம் இல்லை சார். நம்ம வந்து டுடே எனி பிசினஸ் யூ டேக் இட் இன்க்ளூடிங் நியூக்ளியர் ரியாக்டர். நார்த் கொரியாவுக்கு நியூக்ளியர் ரியாக்டர்ஸ் எதுவுமே கிடையாது, நார்த் கொரியாவுக்கு ராக்கெட் லான்ச்சிங் சிஸ்டம் எதுவுமே கிடையாது, பட் தே ஆர் லான்ச்சிங் ராக்கெட்ஸ். இப்படி டெக்னாலஜி இஸ் நோ மோர் சீக்ரெட். Technology is possible. Everyone can try it. Maybe somebody has the technology, they will do it in 3 hours. Somebody who doesn't have a technology will do it in 3 days. அவ்வளவுதான் டிஃபரன்ஸ். டெக்னாலஜி நம்மள்ட்ட நிறைய இருக்கு, நம்ம தான் ஹையஸ்ட் டெக்னாலஜி எல்லாம் அதெல்லாம் அந்த காலம் எல்லாம் மலையேறிடுச்சு சார். இன்னைக்கு கூகுள்ல போனீங்கன்னாக்க எல்லா விஷயத்தையும் நம்ம தெரிஞ்சுக்க முடியும்.
கண்டிப்பா சார். லைக் மைண்டட் பீப்புளோட கொலாபரேட் பண்ணி எவ்ரி 50 கிலோமீட்டர்ஸ் வந்து இந்த ஒரு சர்வீஸ் இம்ப்ரூவ் பண்ணணும்ன்றதான் சார் நெக்ஸ்ட். அதே பாத்தீங்கன்னா இந்த ரெயின் வாட்டர் ஹார்வெஸ்டிங் நீங்க சொல்ற மாதிரி ஒரு 5 years நான் சொல்ற விஷயத்த செஞ்சாங்கன்னா அவங்க வீட்லயே வந்து அந்த less than 500 TDS வந்து கண்டிப்பா மாத்தலாம். இது வந்து இந்த ரெயின் வாட்டர் ஹார்வெஸ்டிங் வந்து சென்னை பீப்புள் வந்து கண்டிப்பா வந்து இதை அவைல் பண்ணணும்னு நான் நினைக்கிறேன். ஏன்னா பாத்தீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு தான் அது 0 வாட்டர் டே லாஸ்ட் 2019 வந்து அதை சந்திச்சாங்க. இன்னும் பாத்தீங்கன்னா அவங்க அதை பத்தி ஒரு அவேர்னஸ் இல்லாம தான் இருக்கிறாங்க. அதை பத்தி நான் நிறைய மீட்டிங்ஸ்ல நிறைய இடத்துல நானும் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன். உங்க மூலமாவும் நிறைய பண்ணணும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். நான் உங்களுக்கு பர்சனலா கால் பண்றேன் சார்.
பண்ணுங்க, அவசியம் கான்டாக்ட் பண்ணுங்க. எனக்கு ஒரு மெயில் அனுப்புங்க, மெயில் அனுப்பிச்சிட்டு பேசுங்க. We will definitely talk. Thank you very much.
Yes sir. Thank you sir.
Thank you. Is there any other question? Is there any question? Padmaraja, why don't you ask some questions? You can unmute Mr. Padmaraja. He is from Saudi Arabia. Host? Yes, please.
Sir, good evening. Kumar Swami.
Yeah, Kumar Sami, good evening.
Sir, my question is for you both. Your export experience can enlighten us.
Little,
Sir,
little, little louder, little louder.
Sir, I am dealing with plastic equipment.
Yeah,
And actually, when I approach Indian plants of MNC,
yeah,
so actually, when I approach directly MNC people, then foreigners, then it is okay. When I
yeah,
approach Indian plants of MNC, that there is some Indian hierarchy,
yeah.
which I could not go to top level people.
Mm.
And I'm actually I'm stuck up with the middle level person like here.
Okay.
So how to handle this thing? Because
See,
when I yes, sir.
yeah. See, any company, if you look out, whether it is a Indian MNC, see, if you address a mail to his name, send a letter, assuming that the company is the managing director or a CEO is a foreigner, you write a letter with a copy to your friend also, who is your actual person. So automatically you cannot be avoided. So next time they will contact you. First thing, the most important thing is you should not antagonize the Indian person. See, the main culprit in our supply strategies for the multinational companies, the Indian only will try to pull our own legs. Okay, what they will go and tell to their bosses, for the European bosses, saying that no, we know how to get the better prices, so we negotiate, you don't involve. So what will happen is they try to negotiate, finally they reduce your prices. Okay, but the moment you started communicating to them very clearly and you be keep in contact with both the people, both Indian collaborator or the international managing director or the hierarchy, whether the purchase department or the director, both the people you keep them contacted and you kept them informed and you create an opportunity to meet him very often. Maybe 5 times he will refuse to meet you. Never, in my experience, I always visited all the companies managing directors. I may enter to meet the only the tooling engineer, but I will meet the managing director only. I'll come out. Maybe I may not meet him in the same day. Maybe 3 times, 4th time, 5th time, definitely I might have met him. So definitely what I'm saying, the more what we think, the moment we think that we're going to meet a managing director, no, I am not very good in communicating, I am not very good in talking, I am not good in presenting, my company is very small, like that you think that. Okay, don't, that is the things you have to overcome, you have to learn, that you have to overcome. That is the only way you can handle this type of hierarchy. Like you see it, no, when a foreign company came to India, they say that we will have move the employees from one place to another place by means of air conditioned buses only our supply people, supply or the purchase people went and told, no, 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 no need to have air condition, we can remove it, will reduce the cost. This is a stupidity. Okay, our people only thinking that by doing this they can reduce the cost. You are increasing the fatigue of the employee. Correct. If you imagine somebody is traveling for 2 hours in a non-air conditioned bus, and what is his efficiency will be there? This is most irresponsible behavior of the Indian purchase or HR persons. Okay, thinking that they reduce the cost. Actually, they are increasing the cost. That's the reason you should have a clear-cut person at the topmost. Yes, Mr. Selvaraj, you raised your hand. You can unmute,
Yeah.
Mr. Selvaraj.
I would like to say a word
Yes, sir.
to Padmaraj of Saudi Arabia.
Yes, sir.
The Germans were so good. I had been personally there quite a few times. These geotextiles, which have proved so valuable, were supplied even to a country of like Saudi Arabia in a big way. And myself and my German colleague, we went there to supervise the whole thing. So the geotextile has been the secret of very efficient roads of Saudi Arabia, even in the deserts.
Oh, very good, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Mr.
Yes, sir.
Selvaraj. Yes, who is talking now?
Yeah, I am Padmaraj here, sir. Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
Padmaraj.
Thanks for the information, sir. Mr. Iyer, sir.
Thank
Really
you.
wonderful for sharing all your experience and exposure and your patriotism towards India. We really
Yeah.
appreciate even in this age. Great.
Thank
Salute
you.
to them.
Thank you.
very much.
And nice presentation from Mr. Kumar also, sir, Dr. Kumar. Thank you very much, sir. Every week you are giving a lot of enthusiastic and additional many inputs, sir. Just I want to add, sir, here. The point is when you talk, it is more of Indian nature of doing business. in terms of supplying to MNCs. Actually, now, you know, is most of the MNCs, the concept also, they want to push their components. Like Mr. Iyer also was telling in during his presentation, they want to sell their core components and somebody, the local people to manufacture and make as a finished product and sell in throughout the region so that they can maximize their selling of core components. So this question to Mr. Dr. Kumar only. The question here, most of your slide talks about, it's wonderful that how we can adapt to supplying to the MNCs, but when they expect to sell their components, core components to us, and we manufacture and we supply the final product, what the additional which we have to follow, sir?
Very good question. See, for a simple example, if you take it, valve, if you take a hydraulic valve, the best valve available in the earth is either it is a Bosch or Extrath valves. Okay. When any company across the globe, when they are looking for a product, no, they will be 100% guaranteed that you are saying that I am going to put up a Bosch valve or I am going to put up a Extrath valve. But if you say that I am going to put up a valve made by some other brand in India, so they will not have the confidence on our product. So that's the reason we take the advantage of buying that particular valve from the Germany. Okay. Your question to your asset, because what happens is they will definitely like to sell, but what will happen when the sales is becoming more? When the sales is becoming more, they will like to, because what happens is they are also buying that product from Germany and sending it here. It is going to be expensive. But if you make them to make it in India, so they will ask us if the supply is going more than the requirement and more quantity is needed, they will say that why don't you make it in India itself? We will get or we can identify somebody who can join hand with this company and manufacture that component in India itself. So, and he can be a supplier to this company itself. That's the reason if you see now what Koreans are doing it. When Koreans are coming out with the automobile companies, they come out with the different collaborators to India. So what these people, they know their technology, they know their methodology of the Korean companies or multinational companies or mobile companies. Like Foxconn coming to India, what it will do is, they know how people at Apple buy, how people at Samsung buy. So they will set up a plant exactly as per the requirement, get the job done through local people, like Schneider Electric. Okay, when they do it, no, because the quality and the standards are tested universally, not in one portion of the world. So what happens is, it is better to have that product, and if the volume goes up, that can be made in India also. Okay, so that way, what happens is, you should not compromise on the reliability and quality, and you should agree for it and source that component and start using that component and supplying as a finished product. And later the volume goes up, you can ask them to allow you to make that product in India itself, of course through proper R&D and validation by testing it also.
Yes, it is correct, sir. But what is, I believe in the business model, there may be after few years of experience, the partners, the local manufacturers, they feel that, okay, only these core components which cost more, let us also manufacture this without doing the proper certification or proper following the process. They end up in a failure.
Exactly.
It has to be avoided. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. See, that's the reason I told the quality management systems, no deviation in the process. See, that's the reason I'm saying it to you. If you visit any multinational organization sourcing it from India, they will specifically spell out. I'm talking about including a mold supplying to Ferruccia. It's a French company who is a leader in supplying automobile majors on the components. So the standards are very clear. Heat treatment to be done at this, and for that certificate is needed. Certificate is not from you, from somebody else who is a third party. And after that, you have to take a picture and you have to attach it. Every day you have to send a report. Like this, the standards are so clear. Now you cannot do that type of things in India. For if you are supplying to be a long-term supplier to be a multinational organization. But what happened? The people think that this is too much of work involved. Whether it is a 1 crore business or it is 30 crore business, the work is same. That's all I was telling you. Whereas in India, what happens is, where we are having more profit, we'll spend more time. Where we are having less profit, we will deviate. So that is the mentality we have to get out of us. If you get out of that mentality, we have a same quality. Wherever we, so like, you know, I will give a small example. I was long time back, okay, Japanese pencils were not very good, okay. Japanese pencils were not very good. That's the reason they came out with micro-tip pencil. Of course, you may be knowing it or not, I don't know. German pencils will be very good, okay. Some of my friend, when we used to go for the international conference and all the things, the Japanese counterpart, they will come and they will use the Japanese pencil. When we use the German pencil, we'll tell them, German pencils are cheaper and equal to things, and your Japanese pencils are costly and you are using that. And know what they say? Today our product may be inferior. If I am not buying my country product, who will buy our country's product? So their patriotism is very high. So they kept, but today what happened? They removed the pencil itself. They went to the technology of micro-tip pencil. So what happened? The technology invented by Japanese only. So that's the reason I'm saying it. The more you focus on quality, the more you focus on improving yourself, you can be a supplier to anywhere in the globe.
Correct. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Sir, Mr. Selvaraj Rangasamy is there. He asked a question, but I think no more questions. I sincerely thank Mr. Tanu Iyer at the age of 88 to join with me and address this great people to share his knowledge and experience. I sincerely thank you, sir. You are one of my guru and well-wisher and guide, philosopher, everything I can say it. And I am learning every day, and I'm learning that I don't know at your age I can be this much active like you. So thank you so much on behalf of participant and on behalf of myself.
Excuse me. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
There is a question by Mr. Selvaraj in the chat box.
Yes, please.
Can you have a look at it? Please.
What are other MNC countries conducted to do business with India apart from Germany? All the countries, including China, want to do a conductive business with India. I am right now a consultant for 2 or 3 Chinese companies who want to put up a plant in India, and we are working on that. Okay. So all the countries want to, because business is different, politics is different. Okay. When it comes business is totally different. So everyone wants to grow. Everyone cannot afford to lose it. Global market, and they know very well the India's strength. So they want to make use of India's strength. So all the countries. Hope I answered, Mr. Selvaraj. Yeah. Sir, Iyer sir, thank you so much. And if you like to say some concluding remarks, you can say it, sir. We can wind up the show.
Yeah, I would like to say my concluding remark. 33 people or 37 people participated, and the tremendous interest they are showing. We should continue more specified subjects for next seminar if we organize, so that we can concentrate on specific issues, whether it is for Germany or other European nations. My concentration is more on Europe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I thank you all, and have a great evening.